Does anyone have a bad back today? Not really? All right. So I have one client saying, yep, there's probably yep, always. Knees. So I have some bit of bad back going on somewhere.
I've got a bit of sore lower back.
Oh yeah, but this is probably this sort of need a massage sort of around here, perhaps.
Maybe.
Okay. Right. Okay. Yeah. Something to help knees be a bit stronger as well, or just okay. Yeah. Let's get on with it. Okay. Up. You're thinking where we're at. Achilles is all right now. Yeah, it's good. It's really nice to have a little bit of tools in the toolkit for, oh yeah, massage or whatever, or just a bit of background to do and heel raises and lifts. So slowing down, relaxing in the collarbone zone. Up and notice the strength work up there. You've got your 15+1 in your feet. You're just aware that the front of the foot and the toes are gently pressing into the footstool and narrowing, because that's the 15+1 and front of the foot's narrowing. Down we go. Still feel like you've got budgy feet wrapped around the perch. Stretching. Let's come up again. Smoothly lower. Let's just work on the smoothly lower. Here we go. Up and then smoothly lower. Budgy feet. And down. So stand on one leg, heel off the ground. 20 seconds starting now. Once we've got to 20, I'll ask you to come higher. Nearly there. Come on up. Just be aware that the front of the foot's narrowing and the toes are gently pressing in. Switch over. So heel just off the ground to start with. So if we did a minute on each foot every day of our lives, we would have a massive background of strength and resilience in all sorts of muscles. And not just the Achilles, but other tendons. Up, up, up. Now you're aware of your feet gently curling into the ground, the front of the foot's narrowing. We're going to go into a wall sit. It's just giving background strength to the knees. We're in wall sit. Make like you've got high-heeled shoes on, heels up. How high can you go? 5 seconds is nearly finished. Lower your feet, get the front of your foot up, so the toes up is also the front of the foot. Quads are beginning to burn. And forward and off the wall. Monkey. I'm going to run us through 5 exercises for daily maintenance to keep your back right. Now, it may be that some of this, it's a bit much movement for a sore knee, so you just hold the posture and stay in one spot. So monkey, you're in Pilates stance. That's Pilates stance. Arms are dangling, bottom back, knees wide, and you've got your fingers dangling between your knees. Now, if you've got a sore knee, you might say, well, you just do a little bit of movement. But already, as soon as we're rocking side to side, second with breastbone area lifting, make sure you're looking up a bit. See that nice back shape, the same sort of shape you should have when you're standing upright. You know your glute muscles are working. Now, if we're going side to side, now if you've got a sore knee, you might just be rocking just nice and gently. And this is where we can start. Yeah. So if you've got a sore knee, you're probably going to say, I want to keep them a bit straighter, but just see if you can hold that position. Load the sore knee. Load the sore knee. It might be, okay, you might say, there you go. You're loading a sore knee. And you gently press into the front of the foot. Just be aware that, 5% effort that you're working your toes, you just load the sore knee. You might not have much movement. So if that's you, you've got a sore knee, you might say, well, you're just, okay. keep working it, not too much movement. But otherwise, just join me. Imagine you did a minute or 2 minutes of this every day, and the arms dangling. All the back muscles are working. So we're only just beginning here. Sort of thing you do at home in a dark room. Or if you want to really make the grandchildren laugh, if you've got grandchildren or nieces or nephews. So sideways, you can really get into ankle movement going sideways. You get a little bit lower. You've got a sore knee, just be in one spot. But if you're gently pushing that front of the foot and the toes into the ground, narrowing the front of the foot, you're getting a lot of ankle work, which is also going to be good for lining your knee up. All right, so now you can do that. You just circle around. Yeah. So if you set the timer, you could set the microwave timer, microwave oven, cook your coffee for 2 minutes. Wow, wouldn't this really make a difference to your gardener's sore back? Well, that's the strength work. That's the first thing. Monkey. Rocking forward and back, a little bit of tummy work now. This is just to get you strong and flexible in the right spots for fixing a sore back. So here we are, just sinking down, nice little stretch to all the right spots. Walk the hand, well, don't just walk, just let's lead with the left hand, out the front, bent knee push up. Lead with the left hand, take it back all the way. So the left hand goes out, bent knee push up. The left hand comes back, down you go. So you get the idea, you know, your tummy's working there. Left hand back, just got to keep thinking about it. Left forward, left back. You can see if you did a minute of that every day, or 2 minutes, you would be well on the way to getting a strong tummy. It's a very available exercise. Right hand leads, right hand forward, push up. Right hand back, so you count just 10. Hopefully it's all right for the knee, by the way. Here's counting. You remember to go out forward with the right and back with the right. And out with the right and back with the right. So the right hand's leading every time. And that sort of gets a little bit of non-symmetric movement. So your oblique muscles are working in your tummy. One more. I'm going to go into rolling Sir Galahad. Okay. Yep, rolling Sir Galahad, one leg forward. Now just push the wrists up to the ceiling and just stretching. Putting the stretch and flexibility into your chest so that the base of the spine doesn't have to move so much, and that's how you protect your back, get the flexibility in other parts. Belly button back, round your back. Forward we go, and the pubic bone sinks down. It's quite an effort, isn't it? 2 hands pushing up and back. I think I'm going to slow it down a bit and see if we can do pushing wrist up and back. Supposing we did, what have we done now? About 6? Let's say about 10. Now I've got a short video there. You can see it in the weekly online subscriber zone. And next week it'll be out in the public part of the website. It's called, I think, 30 minutes a week to a bomb-proof back. Just the other side. And press the wrists up and back. You've got your 15+1, so 5% effort. You know you're narrowing the foot and just curling the toes in. Pressing up and back. Wow. So as soon as we put 2 arms up there, we just made it twice as hard as a workout. Very available, what I'm doing here. It's very functional. The more flexibility in your hips and in your chest, the less movement has to happen at the base of the spine. This is a big thing for back problems. We do monkey, it's automatically programmed that when you lower yourself into a chair or whatever, you're going to have the right posture. You haven't got too much movement at the base of the spine. Let's have one more after this. So pleased to know it gets a little easier now. Stretch band windscreen wiper. So I'm just checking, how's the warmth? I've got the heater going. I think I can probably switch it off very shortly. All right, so across the body, circles, 2 hands on the band. All right, across the body, you've tried that. 2 hands on the band. Now to the ceiling. So there is some, just 2 hands. Pull. When your knee hits your cheek, you know you've got there. I like pulling on the reins of a horse. And this is a nerve, part of a nerve floss. We're not holding it for very long. So it's also doing some work freeing up the glide of the nerve. And we're not going to get technical about that, with just the minimum for that. Leg out the side, and you can just rotate the thigh a little bit. So kneecap looks down, kneecap looks up. You can think about bend and straighten your knee a little, knee looking down, bend and straighten the knee, looking up. By the way, the opposite hip's down, so there's no twist at the base of the spine, and it's all nice and safe there. All right, so over we go. Nice little circles. Feel like a cat rolling in catnip. Way you go, just keep going. I'll give you another 30 seconds on this side. I'll just turn the heater off. Whew. I'll try and turn it off. As always, thanks for being here, guys. Let's switch sides. And so just windscreen wiper on the other side. I'll put this chair right out the way. So windscreen wiper, stretch band. You can use a bicycle inner tube for this. It feels very different, but it's still going to work. Now, there's all sorts of ways to stretch out the hips and the backs of the legs, the sides of legs and inside thighs. But this sort of covers a lot of ground, especially if you stop and really think about stretching and moving. Okay. 2 hands on the band, you can really get pulling into that. So, who's going to be the first person that you get that leg moving and the toes hit the ground behind you? Someday I'm going to see a client that does that, which time I'll pass the baton over, say, right, you take over. If I got the leg wide, the opposite hip's down, no twist at the base of the spine, part of a bomb-proof back. Oh, nice to straighten, bend the knee. So if I got the leg out the side, I can just make the kneecap look to the floor, look to the ceiling, just twisting, and then bend and straighten the knee. Okay. So what have we had? We've had monkey. We've had rocking from forward and backwards into a push-up. We've had Sir Galahad. We've had stretch band windscreen wiper. Now just see if we can do a deep squat. Just checking in as to where we're at on this. Now, if you're at home, you could perhaps put something under your heels. This is where we find out how stiff everything is. There's lots of variations. So something under the heels is, of course, one thing you can do. And you find a door jam, you might get down that much, and that's fine. You might be coming in and out of that. So there's a squat, and you can get yourself down somewhat there, like that. Knees, maybe just find that a little bit interesting. But if we can work into the deep squat, thousands, perhaps millions of elderly folk in India and China can deep squat. They've had to all their lives. It's really good. It's a very good exercise. So, and then if I would suggest to work with the door jam. Not everyone's got a door jam handy, but can you just rock a little side to side? And so here you've got some modification, something under your heels, a door jam, a little bit of rocking side to side. If you can just move a little side to side, you really begin to find out where all the tight sheets of connective tissue around those PSIS spines at the back there. Okay, so everyone's sort of probably going to be quite relieved to come out of that. So if you couldn't do a deep squat, but you can just poke your bottom backwards. Now, if the knees are not so good, you have your hips a bit higher. But you just work at getting a really good thighs close to chest. And if you can get your sit bones down, your seat down, that's good. And then a little bit of side to side. So there's your modification. If a deep squat is impossible, what would it be like if we were all sort of able to do deep squats? There'd be a lot less back pain. There is some reasonable research evidence on that. All right, so we haven't done any massage, but I'd like to end up the session with that. We come to tall kneeling, stretch band. This is your chance to send the arm up like punch to the ceiling, but get the armpit and ribs go up too. You ready? We'll do 5 each side. 1, really stretch up to the side. And get you so you might tuck your tailbone a little and squeeze your glute muscles together a little bit. Right, press. You really get the ribs. You feel the ribs other side. So you see the angle on my shoulders? One's a lot higher. You can see that? Triceps towel stretch. You can use one band or you can double it over. I'm going to go for a double. I'm going to start with the way I usually don't go. I'm just switch to the non-dominant hand at top here. Up we go, press back. This is the one I really hate. Press the band back. How far away from my back is it getting now? Gosh, this is pretty good. I'm just checking. Can we get it off our backs? Wow. 5, 4, 3, 2, get the chest, get the ribs moving. Down, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, the other hand. Take it up. How close are the hands together? Push it back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I guess 10, 9, 8, 7. We'll stop at 4. Take it down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Got your ribs moving? Good one, Pam. Good one, Mark. So there's parts of you that are actually very flexible, by the way. That's good. Okay. So we just go sideline quad stretch. This is my favorite quad stretch. You can see it's all right there. I'm going to we'll just get you set up. Just grab the foot. See if you can get the thigh bone behind you and then down. And that's really where the stretch is. And then back and up and around. So thanks everyone for coming in on Zoom. Now I'm working hard to, how do we say, just put that little professional touch on your little online subscriber thing there. And I hope it looks like you're all getting through to and clicking on the right things there. So the good thing is that if I'm sick someday, well, you've still got a 1 hour workout you can do there. So I'm just going to adjust the camera a little. If we twist the camera, try and get it lined up. You might get seasick. Well, right now. Okay. So I'm just checking in. How's our quad stretches? Get the knee back and down. I don't know, some of these not so good knees, well, you could always just grab a stretch band and put that around. How about the other side now? Oh, wow. What's happened here? So if anyone's had the pain in the side of the knee, the tight IT band from perhaps running up and down hills a little bit, this is a good, because we take the thigh bone behind the body and then down, it gets this tight IT band. And that's something if you could internet search that. runner's IT band. Now it's going to help the kneecap balance out, and the forces on the kneecap balance out as well, just going back and down. Whoa, I've got a tight IT band on this leg. So very shortly, we just go into the Pilates 100. Here we go. Pumping, inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale, 2, 4, 5. Feel like we've already done a bit of a tummy workout. We're warmed up and we're ready for this. What comes after this? Single leg circles. Now, yes, I'm going to make circles and squares a theme today. So let's take these arms. Circles, take the arms down and out and around. Circles. That's a different movement. Feel wider across your chest, change direction. Whoa, it feels like you're going to fall over backwards like in a silent movie from the 1930s. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, leg to the ceiling, circles. Circles and squares, well, there's a single leg circle. You might like to get your shoulder blades flat to the mat like dinner plates, change direction. I'm not making a very big circle. I like to have a slightly bent knee. You know, it's like the thigh bone sinking into the hip socket, or it's stirring olive oil in your hip socket. Okay, so squares. Let's have 3 squares one way and 3 the other. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 3, 4. You're making the shape of an old-fashioned TV screen. Change direction. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm just going to take that into a gentle knee bounce. Now, hopefully that's feeling all right for those knees that are feeling a bit delicate, because it's a very good way to pump the blood into the knee cartilages. And it may be that you can just put your hands and fingers behind the knee there. If I put 2 layers of fingers there, that's just gently leaving the knee open and apart. It's very gentle loading, a lot less loading than you would get walking around on your knee. Could be just the right therapeutic thing. Other leg circles, round and round. Goody. Yeah, that's just like lubricate the joint. Imagine pour olive oil into the joint, change direction. Sometimes we talk about thigh bone like a stick sinking in the mud. Do you like that image? All right, circles like squares. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make squares. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you count it? If you count it, you make sure that the corners, the Viereck. Square in German is 4 corners. That's pretty good. Viereck. Is that right? So it's a good term. Okay, let's bounce the knee. I'm going to put 2 layers of fingers behind it. Viereck, 4 corner. And just a nice little bounce. How do we find that for people with delicate knees? Is that okay? Yeah, I'll put 2 layers of fingers in there. And it does just help pump the blood into the cartilages inside cartilages and the ligaments. So from here, just bring your head up, bring one leg up. And you just point your toe on that long leg. Curl up, round your back, start rocking. Sit tall and kiss your shoulder blades together. Yeah. Down we go. Round your back. You have to round your back to be rocking. Okay, well, come on up. Just pull your elbows in and kiss your shoulder blades together. That's a mid to upper back workout. We'll switch legs. Kiss shoulder blades together. And then back around your back. Now you have naming rights. What do you want to call this exercise? We've got it nailed. All right, so just standard rolling like a ball. You boost forward, bracelet grip in front of your shins. Keep your eyes on your belly. And now it's a little bit easier anyway to round your back. Yes, everyone got chins on chest. Lovely, looking at your belly. Single leg stretch. Okay, so let's just have 3 each side. It's like 1 and 1, you with me? 2 and 2 and 3 and 3. Now, what about these circles? Hug one leg in. Circles like 2 circles one way and 2 the other way. And switch. Circles, circles. Change direction, another 2 circles. Now there's 4 corners, those squares. You've got to remember the corners. Like you count it, you'll know. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Change direction. 1, 2, 3, 4. Your whole body's sort of going over that. All right, the other leg. So squares. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Imagine having to do hexagons. This could get confusing, right? Okay, I'm going to take a little break, just lying in the hay paddock. You know, I worry a lot about world affairs. I don't know if you do. I hope you don't worry as much as I do, but lying out in the hay paddock, remembering what it's like to be a kid, it's a nice place to be, isn't it? There's a little wonderful moment every day. Mako mako, that's a bush tree, wineberry. Now the wood pigeons will be eyeing up the wineberries at the Otatara Bush Reserve very shortly. And as soon as the berries are ripe, they're in there, and in 24 hours, they strip the tree. And the wineberries make them drunk. So it's just, they love wineberries. But they know within 24 hours, they strip the tree. And if you're going running there, let's just come up to double leg stretch again. Just hold there. So if you're running there, and there'll be one day and all the wood pigeons are there. And towards the end of the day, they're probably really drunk because that's what wineberries do. So these little magic moments, and it makes you forget about your cares. It's just nice to get out in the bush. So let's take ourselves into the single straight leg stretch. Pull, 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 pull. See if you can reach high up your ankle. And feet to the mat. Knees close together. We step into a bridge. Arms behind. And let's take both arms up and circles. Let's just take the arms towards the knees, out and around. Boost up high in the bridge, push the hips up, squeeze the glutes together. This feels like a comedy man swinging his arms and about to fall backwards over a tall precipice. All right, so the squares, can you do it alternating directions? So if one hand goes forward, the other goes backward. I am a robot. How are we doing? This gets really interesting. I'm just coming up to see how good we are at doing. All right, we have circles. Squares are just interesting enough. Okay, supposing, let's just imagine we've got, that your index fingers, or just take 2 fingers like you've got 2 sparklers here, and you make the sparklers go around. So come up on the bridge, it's sparkler time. And so you want to make circles with your sparklers up, pointing to the wall behind, and then to the ceiling, push your hips up, and then change direction and go back the other way. So I don't think we did a great job of the squares, but that's all right. Come on down, hips to the mat. Come up for spine stretch forward. Spine stretch forward. Now remember, we're going to put the look up stretch in here as well. So make sure the breastbone lifts, the neck lifts, and look up. Push your chin forward. Let your tongue come forward as well. All right. And then head down, shoulders a little bit wide, reaching forward. Now you can let the back of the neck be long and lifted, and the shoulders wide. Rebuild the spine, up, up, up. Neck rolls up, head rolls up, eyeballs roll up. Push the chin forward. You've got to lift in the breastbone, Adam's apple, jaw and tongue. And the head forward, and everything rolls forward, and reach and roll back up. Remember, the chest lifts, the neck lifts, the chin lifts forward. So now you should feel like not only have you stretched out your spine, stretched forward for your back, you've also stretched out the area between your throat and your jaw. Let's just see how you're doing. So this is in aid of all spouses who are just about deafened by snoring every night. See, I think maybe this is the first time anyone's ever experienced the spine stretch forward as a preventative for snoring. I think I should set up a research trial. All right, so we can take this into our sort of Marilyn Monroe moment. Again, we put in an extra stretch. We reach into the end of the movement and we move to the other end and we find the stretch. Marilyn Monroe, smiling at your hand, spread the hand right. Right, it's swimmer's arm action. So the shoulders really high on the elbow side. Okay, let's do 5. We can just up, looking back. So you got an eyeball workout too, looking up and back, smiling. You work your smiley cheek muscles, like 3, and knee, and 4, and stretch high, and 5, and on that side, you feel really alive. Let's try the other side. Got your Marilyn Monroe smile, work your smile. Ding. Okay, high, back, and back. Really stretch out. Oh. Let's get a really good lat dorsey stretch happening here. All right, so we got a Marilyn Monroe smiles, and I guess what you get a little bit of a spiral look up stretch happening there, a little bit of that there through that spiral muscle. Okay, right. Still and seated. Driver looks behind. Now I'm finding I can get all my body parts into looking behind. I've got to remember, however, to bring my head back and make sure the front of the car doesn't hit anything. Okay, so just remember, we want every body part in the look. Back we go, looking at the back window. So the knees go over the belly button, the hips. Everything, shoulders, necks, chins. Try it the other way. Supposing we're backing around, we want to do it fairly quickly. We want to be able to get our eyes around it fairly quickly. Yeah, the knees, everything, shoulders, everything's over. And again, just so the knees might touch the ground. Over we go. Switch the knees over. See, I'm doing that quite quickly. Might as well make sure I'm just checking what's around front and side as well as I'm looking around. Just give us a couple more, just see how we do. Yeah, knees, bodies, hips, everything goes around. The feeling is like you've got a really squirming kid trying to wriggle out of a seat. So it doesn't just have to be your neck that does the twist to look out the back window of the car. And this for me is quite a revelation. I don't know about you, but do remember not to hit the front of the car onto the side, the car on the side that's parked on the side of it. All right, so we just take ourselves, this is like a wrist bridge as opposed to shoulder bridge. And the crab, this is like on the internet, you search exercise, crab crawl, and there you go. So here we are working a good piece of strength and flexibility around those shoulders. It looks like we're doing very nicely. How's the wrists holding out? Anyone got sore wrists or? Yeah, okay. So we can shake them out, shake. And since I have sore saddle joints in my thumbs, I like to pull, jiggle. Maybe a little twist. Ugh. So it helps to have a good thumb joint because then you can get the lid off the jam jar. Failing that, family members give me the jam jar and I take it on the floor and I go dunk and it loosens the lid and I take the lid off. There you go. And they think I'm really strong. But they don't seem to learn. You just got to knock the lid loose. Yeah. I think that's about the only thing Dad's useful for. Just get the lid off the jar, Dad. All right, so this does make a huge difference, by the way. I can get some very sharp pains in my thumb joints at times. And it's going to work if you've got a bit of rheumatoid arthritis in you, especially that joint there. Like, it's going to help. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Okay. So it's, we'll just take a little bit of a shoulder bridge. So, yeah, knees close together, roll up in the bridge, roll back down, mobilize your spine to like the tailbone rolls up, the hips, every vertebra lifts and the knees forward, and just feel like you're really mobilizing through your spine. If you use your elbows and shoulder blade, you just push a bit higher. You might find you just want to get those glute muscles squeezing together. All right, just show me a couple more. That's a roll up shoulder bridge and push high, hips high. All right, when your hips hit the ceiling, you know you're there. Okay, so supposing we wanted to take this into one of those spider shoulder bridges, put your hands behind you. Can you get your hips up? Can you get the rest of you up? Can you get your head on the ground? Can you get the head off the ground? Pretty good. Okay. How could that could be, I know my hands just find that interesting. Well, I'm not sure how you're doing at home, but you know, we used to be able to do these things. And you know, those girls in the playground, they get up there and they just, wow, how do they do that? Okay, but we can do some nice leg work. Let's have the legs just within centimeter of each other. Come on up, feet close together. Circles pointing to the ceiling, 2 each way. You got 2, we'll change direction. Pointing to the wall in front. Keep the hips high, pointing to the wall in front. Point your toe to the wall in front, 2 each way. All right, circles out to the wall to the side. You have to take your arm out. Circles. And the other way. Let's just come out and just reassess, how do we feel? We've worked that side of the body, right? So we'll curl the hips up, tailbone up, hips up we go. Knees are close together and point to the ceiling, circles 2 each way. Keep the hips high. I'm not so stable this side. What's it going to be like to finish the job? Point to the wall in front, keep the hip high. Point to the wall in front, circles. We're still pointing a little bit more too high, perhaps. That's okay. All right, out the side, point to the sidewall, circles. And like 2 each way. And come back in. That really works the weaker side of my body. Did you find you had a weaker side for that? All right, so we won't get overburdened with doing that, a lot of that again, but what's it like to take the legs wide and do that? So just come on up. Legs are now wide, arms are wide, circles, just 1, and 1 the other way. Then point to the wall in front, 1, and then the other way. And then out to the side. It just got a little harder because the feet are wide. And then back. And just come on down. So we just got the other leg there. So I'll keep a half eye. I'm just interested to know how. The feet are wide. The feet are wide. So point to the ceiling, 1 each way. Keep the hip high. Point to the wall in front, 1 each way. And keep the hip high. Yeah, and then the leg out the side. All right. I used to put my hands behind my head and elbows wide. Sounds like everyone's had a bit of a workout there. Very good. So part of a shoulder bridge sequence, what's suitable for us? We've got the standard roll up. I'd just like to see a standard roll up, arms long behind. And breathe into your belly, but most of the breath will go into the lower ribs and stretch them out. So breathe in. and then relax your throat. Okay, well, we're ready now. Gentle breath in, arms up, head up, just breathing out. You just roll up. And just reach forward and see if you can grab your toes. I just want you to just put hands by your shins. Now, can you do the crocodile grab of your feet? Let's just do 2 on each foot. Can you reach over? You look up on your bushy eyebrows. And then your back's lifting. Your chest is lifting so that the very low spinal joint is not curled over too much. So your back's lifting. Reach. You might not be able to reach there. That's all right. It's like you just might. Okay. So we're doing roll up. So we just take that now into Shelley Powell style rolling. I'm just going to boost forward a little. Well, here's the preparation for Shelley Powell rolling. This is rocking boat or rocking chair. Just see if you can take yourself a bit more, up a bit more, so your sit bones start pointing at the ceiling. Now put your hands on the mat and you guide the movement, the hands and the elbows and the sit bones together. Can you hold up there with the knees bent? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly forward. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Show me what you got. Can you do that? Just up, sit bones to the ceiling, knees at 90 degrees. Well done. Push your sit bones high. Now rock forward with a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You just got upper back muscles of steel now. All right, I think that's enough of that. Okay, so this would be preparation. If your backs are feeling all right, I just said this would be nice preparation for the jackknife. Now, the jackknife, it's send the legs to the top of the wall behind you, put the ankles above your eyes, and then lower the ankles, and then just roll forward. And just, again, that's not quite, yep. So once you rolled up, you just push your ankles up to the ceiling, and then lower your ankles over your eyes, and eventually just roll out again without getting too technical about how you roll out. It's nice to bring your head up as you roll out. Good. Let's not do any more of that, but that's close to jackknife. Do you know you can get boys doing that when they're about 7 years old, and they just do it, eh? And I don't know if every boy can, but sideline clams. And we're in position with the hands behind the head. I'm gonna do sort of about 3 of everything. Let's see if we can just do a little bit of a memory exercise. There's our 3 clams. Now we take that top leg and make circles, and 3, and 3 the other way. 3 circles, and now squares. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Change direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Break. Now I'm going to go to the other side and just up and over. Now I could add in lots of other things, but I'm getting old. My memory's not so good nowadays. Just 3, just standard clams. If you keep your top hip forward, it's like opening the wing of a butterfly. Maybe we do 4, that's okay. So we straighten the top leg and do some nice circles. I've got my toe slightly higher than my heel. That's just a good place to, you can feel that glute muscle. That's a good sore back muscle right there, the top of the back hip pocket. Change direction, circles. Leg long like a ballerina. So squares, like, just start up at the front. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like going to the basketball. Change direction. Do. You know what I'm talking about? I think that's just to get everyone excited so they can drink more Budweiser and drink more and eat more popcorn. Right? So, yeah. Okay. So I'm just taking a little break. I'm going to take myself into an open clam. Just the top knee goes up and the hips back at 45 degrees. So we can do the inner thigh lift 3 times. Now this leg's going to do circles. Straighten that lower leg. Circles. 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 If you can go a little bit higher and a little bit slower, that's a really good place to be. I've got quite just at the insertion point of these top of leg muscles, they like this. They're needing a lot of remedy work. Squares, this should be fun. We're ready. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It doesn't feel like at the basketball game anymore. Up and down and up. How good are our squares? Phew. We'll just come over and so we've got an open clam with the hips at 45 degrees. It's just a nice position. And the lower leg's doing a little lift. So we've got just like a butterfly wing, it's just stretching in the sun. You get a nice little rib lift as well, if you like. All right, the lower leg's straight, so circles. Whenever I work my left leg, my body is not so stable. I don't know if this is the same for everyone. My left knee suffers more wobbles when I'm working through it, and that's why my left knee cartilage is not 100%. Squares. Change direction. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so let's. So from here, this is our basic clam position. We can do so many things from side lying and clams and bridges that are all sort of related. Prop on an elbow, Roman feast. What about trying to do one circle and one square, just straight away? See at the Roman feast, and you adjust. All right, one circle, one square. You're just getting bored. The servants are really slow bringing on the wine and turkey's eggs or whatever, you know, peacock's eyes. It's really slow service here, so you just got to stretch out a bit. All right, so press the back of the elbow into the ground, get your hand and hips lifting. Circle with the hand, press through the back of the elbow. All right, press the back of the elbow. You know what comes next. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Change direction. Press to the back of the elbow. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do the Roman feast on the other side. Just propping on the elbow. So we're just getting bored with room service here. Press to the back of the elbow and just lift a bit. Right. Leg. One circle, one square. Just to know that we can do it. One circle. And one square. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we just take the hips up, press the back of the elbow. All right, so we take this arm, circles 1, 2, 3, 4. There's just 2 each way. Squares 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back on the basketball to hit the court. Change direction. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Smoothly lower. Hear the applause of all the dinner guests. Great. Roman feast exercise going on here. Timing, just so if we go on to our fronts and just glute activation. And this, okay, just prop on the elbows. Just get your body up and your ribs lifting forward and laying back down. So you're stretching out your tummy now. So a glute lift is just there. Can you lift your thigh bone off the mat? And can you squeeze your glute? Up, squeeze, up and squeeze, and smoothly down. So once you're done, one more, got 6 on one side. Perhaps one more again, I think you'll have 6 there. Switching up, squeeze the glute. And you could just check, you put your knuckles there, you know it's working. Up, a little relax and up again. Glute squeeze. Since the thigh bone's behind the body, I think it's a little easier to squeeze that glute. The other time the big glute max muscle works is when you do a squat or you're walking up a steep hill. And if you're running and you've got a good sprint action. It doesn't automatically work. Prop on the elbows. So from here, let's take the knees just a little bit wider and squares and circles. Press through the one elbow to take the other hand forward. I've got a slight bend in my elbow. Circles. It's like the Pope giving a blessing, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And squares now. Change direction. He's giving a blessing at a basketball match. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Scored. Okay, other leg. Other arm is pressing a little higher. Oh, not so stable this side. Circles. And the other way. Yeah. I'm finding, and the squares. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, just 2 each way. Yeah, and change direction. 1, 2, just keep pushing through that elbow. And that's really finding out my curves in my spine, the asymmetrical curves in my spine. How did you find that? Let's come up and, okay, just belly button lift. And just come up into the rest position or child's pose. Okay. And you'll remember at the start we were doing that squat to try and get some flexibility and stretch into the back of the hips. So, but here we are. If we just take ourselves and the hips and just the body goes a little left and right, and we're rolling the hips over the thigh bones, left and right. I hope the knees are all right with that. If you need to, your hips will, of course, be a bit higher, and that's still a really nice side-to-side rocking. And you can really feel like the ball is pushing back and deep into that socket. That's a good place to be. All right, so we'll take one arm forward and then just find yourself a puppy pose stretch. And well, let's take the other arm forward too. I think it's just going to be nicer that way. All right, so we could take ourselves over to the left, push the left arm forward, breathe into the left of the body. Relax the neck at the peak of the breath. Let the head relax down. And again, you can just think about breathe into the left of the body, press the left hand away, press over to the left, breathing in. Relax the neck. That's good. And just over to your right. Is everyone good to go? Whichever your right is. Press the right hand away. Breathe into the belly and the right side of the body. Again, breathe in, press the right hand away. And you may have felt a little difference. We could in future just work out if there was a bit of tightness more one side than the other, but we won't now. Okay, so if you have your hands out there forward, can we take the chest up and around in a circle? I like to have, and the 2 circles. And I think you know where this might be going, circles and squares. Take it the other way. And we're getting a really glorious back of armpit sort of stretch, or side of armpit stretch. How about our squares? Left, up, right, down, left, up, right, down, changing direction. So we up, over to the left, down to the right, something like that. Okay. I think that would be an amazing piece of Pilates choreography. I think we could keep an audience entertained for hours with squares and circles. Thank you, you're a great audience. Well, I got the ball and I'm just going to go into crab crawl massage and just see where that takes us. So we can do some daily maintenance for backs with exercises and stretches, but it's nice to put in some, have a play with a variety of back muscle and buttock muscle massage. So I think you just do what you feels right for you. And yeah, some of us have a leg out straight. Maybe it's in. This is crab crawl style. Seems to be nice for getting the lower part of the hip pocket and sort of between the top of the thigh bone and the just over the top side of the sit bone. And of course, we can go a little bit more on an elbow. I just straighten and bend the knee and just find out what's working. I'm just going to do one side and see how it feels tomorrow. All right, so that's your crab crawl style. We can also just take ourselves in a shoulder bridge with one side higher. And the shoulders are on the ground, so it's a shoulder bridge. And now the muscles are a little bit softer because they're not boosting us off the ground. And the ball's go, oh, it's going deeper. And this area, the bottom of the hip pocket area for me is quite tight. And I know it's pressing on the nerve a little because I'm getting a little twitch in the hamstring here sometimes at night. So I know this is an area I really need to work on. There we go. Very nice. So crab crawl, shoulder bridge, sideline. Sideline. Now, if you get bold and daring, you're going to let the ribs sink down to the mat and the ball will go deep. Ooh, yeah, I might just pause there and just enjoy that. So these are a lot of the positions we have rehearsed during the mat class, and we're just turning them into massage positions now. This is kind of quite mean, isn't it? I mean, a lot of this you can do it on a wall, but when it's gravity assisted and you're feeling a little bit confident and really nicely warmed up, you know, it's quite a good place to be, I think. That's good. So I'm only doing my right-hand side and I'm going to compare what it feels like tomorrow. So right now I'm taking the ball just in front of the hip, the side hip, just in front of the top of the thigh bone. That's your, if you got a tight IT band right down the leg here, where you get this top of the muscle at the top loosened up, and it's going to help a tight IT band. Just in front of the top of the thigh bone. Ooh, I'm just going to pause there. That's good. So feel free to do your own thing. We're just looking at back and buttock massage to go with the back exercise we were doing initially. Okay. And then, of course, we can just rehearse the similar thing on the wall. If I'm doing my right side, well, monkey. And guess what? We're almost in a crab crawl right there, same shape and space. That's quite nice. And guess what? It's actually with, if I pretend it's crab crawl with the hands on the wall, the bottom of the hip pocket's getting a really good work there. It's not so good at the top. Shoulder bridge style. Yeah, that's just a bit more vertical, get the shoulder close. Yeah, that's good. And what was the other one? Sideline. Same shape and space. Just between the top of the thigh bone and top of the hip. There we go. Get the ribs close. Oh, that's going deep now. I've used the big ball all through here. It's working quite nicely. We can have a play with a smaller ball. And then finally, if I want to get the front of that hip just in front of the thigh bone, I'll put my arm behind me and get this leg floppy, and then there we go. Oh, yeah, that's the spot there. I couldn't get that line down there. That's it. I think we've got a full hour there. That's amazing. So, yeah, so if you've got your online subscriber zone, you can look at those back exercises and have a look at those. I actually put these in under Pilates Solutions at the website. If you search Pilates Solutions, you probably see those. Next week, you'll see the back one that's in the subscriber zone in the Pilates solutions. Very good.